Welcome back to Foot in Mouth. Not exactly everybody back. Sponz.
Rest in peace. He died in Joburg.
I'm sure he felt like it the morning after, bro. Yeah, Sponz is obviously performing a cotton fest in Joburg, so that was dope for him. First time flying. Was his first time. Have you flown before, Ethan? I should know this about you.
I've flown with you.
You flown with me. Oh, you were a kid, eh?
Yeah, when we went to Joburg and Durban.
Yeah.
Well, not Durban. We drove to Durban. We went
Jeez.
to Joburg.
Aren't we jet setters, bruv? But yeah, so Sponzy cannot be with us. I know that he wanted to be with us. He had some serious opinions on Liverpool after their loss to Wolves. I spoke to him off air, so I will fill everybody in as best I can. But before I continue, a little bit of a change up. I would like to just say a big hello to everybody watching on YouTube. I know that it's been extremely quiet on this platform.
Is this on YouTube now?
This is going on. It's on YouTube again.
Wow.
Again. It was on YouTube. And then, life does what life does. Things got hectic. Things got crazy. We've moved on to the official audio platforms where we've basically been focusing everything. But I am going to start bringing everything back to YouTube as well.
Get it on
We're gonna
YouTube.
Start finding the proper balance because, look, YouTube is where we started. YouTube is where we're going to keep
YouTube's where we'll die.
going.
Like sponsored Joburg.
And yeah, so okay, look, with that out the way, Ethan is definitely the one that is happy today, which is, look, I don't know when last I've been on the episode and not had anything really to smile about. It's been a while. Arsenal's been on some serious form, but not so much this weekend. New manager bounce absolutely prevailed. So Ethan, look, get us started on a positive note. Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1. Talk us through the game. Talk us through the emotions, brother.
I didn't watch the game. So let me start there. So there's fuck all emotions going on in my head. I didn't watch the game, but I did see Vejo started instead of Marshall. I get it. It's basically a toss-up. Anytime either of them starts, it's a toss-up. Either one of them could start.
I did see some people talking about, is he injured again before kickoff?
No, I don't think he's injured. I just think, you kind of just got to let him play 60, 70 minutes and then let him go again.
He's got to be like an impact sub,
Yeah.
or impact player at least, I guess.
But yeah, I think the main takeaway was that Casemiro choking the guy.
Now, you know what? When
He
I
didn't
saw
choke
it,
him.
when I saw it at the time in the pictures and everything, I was
The pictures
like,
are bad. I know.
was like, holy, how can you do that? But it
No,
wasn't.
he
really a choke.
held him back a bit, and then afterwards they hugged.
It wasn't a choke. Like, I'm fairly sure that United are gonna appeal that because look, that's
I
a
don't think
straight red.
I don't think they're gonna appeal it because if they appeal it and then it gets disemboweled or whatever,
Yeah.
then it gets another. Then they add on another ban to it.
But I kind of feel like they have more than enough grounds to appeal on. Like yes, the pictures look bad, but when you take into account the situation and the fact that they hugged afterwards, like,
I know it definitely shouldn't have been a
Would
red
you
card.
appeal?
No,
you really wouldn't.
it's
You
too
don't-
much. It's too much effort,
Too risky.
and it's too risky.
You'd rather take the 2-game ban.
Take the 2-game ban because he did put his hands on his neck. You can't argue with that. It is kind of
And he looked like he enjoyed it.
yeah, he did enjoy it. But look, I get it. He did it. It's a red, fair enough. I don't think it's a red, but I wouldn't even appeal it. It's too much.
It comes at a real bad time for United. I mean, any time it comes is a horrible time because
I
look,
think
he
it comes
missed
at
the
a-
Arsenal game through suspension. You guys lost that one. Now you guys are missing him for 2 games.
Look, honestly, I think if there was ever a time we have Sabitzer now, do it now. Fair enough.
Well, like, I don't think Ten Hag's got a choice now.
Yeah, there is no choice, but it's
doesn't
fine.
have a
I'm
choice.
fine with him having no choice. I do think it's a bit weird that has VAR ever gone back and just literally looked at other shit and be like, he did this. Because why doesn't this happen all the time then?
Well, look, VAR is one of the biggest issues that is the inconsistencies.
But VAR's not supposed to go looking for things, is it? VAR's just supposed to.
VAR is supposed to highlight violent conduct.
But VAR,
above all else.
Isn't VAR is supposed to, if the ref makes a call, VAR is supposed to check that call. If the ref had made a call on Casemiro, VAR could
Yes.
check, but VAR
Yes,
can't say.
VAR can overturn red cards, can't overturn yellow cards. But also, like I say, VAR is there to look out for violent conduct. And obviously, whatever that constitutes as is subjective to whoever is on VAR at the time for that game. And that's the issue with the inconsistency. But like you said, I think it came down to a matter of if VAR don't call them out on that, someone's going to call VAR out on it.
No, nobody would call VAR on that.
You would have had some
Nobody.
even at least at the
Literally
very least
nobody.
you would have had Palace fans busy complaining because that picture would have circulated whether Casemiro got a red card or not. That picture would have circulated. You would have had people going, okay, VAR, so we just allow this now.
I guess, but I mean, still, no, I don't think that was too light. People fucking put hands on each other all the time. It's not a big deal.
I'm surprised. I think that VAR should have in that moment actually taken the full moment into account and let it slide for what it was, you know. And I disagree with the red. I don't think it should have been a red.
Not a red.
But obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I'm happy because
Yeah,
it dents Man United's chances a little bit going forward. But look, on the plus side, Marcus Rashford scored again.
Yeah, he did score again. He keeps scoring, doesn't he?
He does keep scoring. He didn't score. His goal was ruled out against Nottingham Forest, yeah?
There was an offside one or
For
something.
the offside goal, yeah. I saw him complaining about that one because he was really upset that he didn't set the new record at Old Trafford. Like, it would have been like such a moment, you know what I mean?
Was that going to be a record win?
That
Or
would have been a
record goal?
record for the goals in consecutive games.
Oh.
So I think he would have set that at Old Trafford, but he seemed to have said, did you see the goal? Was it well offside?
No, I did see it, but it wasn't like noteworthy. Like I don't remember it off the top of my head, so it can't have been that close.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, if that goal had counted, I'm just thinking the run that he would be. I still kind of count the run because yes, it was ruled out, but he found the back of the net,
Yeah,
and now he scored a goal. This dude cannot stop.
but it's weird though
scoring.
because he scores a goal and then he plays bad. So you can't say he played shit because he scored a goal, but you can't play played well because he played bad.
It's weird. It's weird because also that's one of the things where I kind of feel like stats can be manipulated. Like again, if you look at the stats,
know, he's-
Olivier Giroud is one of the greatest players of all time.
What are you trying to say though?
I'm trying to say it's not.
Wow.
But yeah, Marcus Rashford got a goal. Bruno Fernandes got a goal.
Yeah, he got a penalty.
Yeah, he did. I'm sure he's over the moon that Ronaldo's gone. So now although then again, while Ronaldo was there, you know, penalties wouldn't exactly.
What are you trying to say? Say it.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I love Ronaldo. That's the
He
goat.
scored a penalty for Al Nassr now yesterday.
Yeah, and that's why Bruno now they're having a bit of a anything you can do, I can do better. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Classic Bruno
Classic.
and Ronaldo, bro. You can take Ronaldo out of United, but
Classic buddy cop movie right there. Bruno and Ronaldo.
but yeah, Crystal Palace got a 76th minute consolation goal. I'm pretty sure that United would have liked to end the game more comfortably.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, look, I know that goes without saying, but I just mean more in a sense of you guys were 2-0 up, like,
Yeah.
and then
But I mean, a
obviously-
red card throws shit off. You
Yeah,
know,
and I mean, 6
Garnacho
minutes after the red
Garnacho has
card.
to come off so they can make more defensive. But like, once a red card happens, it's a different ball game.
That is true. That is true.
And I mean, this is better than United's last game against Palace when it ended 1-1.
Yeah,
So can't argue with that.
that's true. There was no worldie
No,
that made you guys drop points. But yeah, overall, I don't think it was a especially spectacular game of football.
No,
but I
not
will
really.
ask, Man United, you guys are hosting Leeds on Wednesday.
That's easy. That's easier than this fucking
Hosting
Palace
Leeds
game.
on
Although
Wednesday.
Leeds also, you see, they sacked their manager.
Jesse Marsh. It's so weird because they just signed Weston McKennie. Like they signed
They
a
did-
few
yeah,
players
they
actually.
did sign a few
like
players.
I always think it's so weird when you when you invest in a manager and then you sack him like immediately.
Yeah, it is weird. But I mean, I'm sure they're looking around at like Aston Villa and Everton and being like, we need to do that. Like, they all get new managers and then they literally win the next game.
I suppose new manager bounce, bro. Look, I mean Everton. We're gonna get into the Everton game. But yeah, so I don't think Leeds are gonna have a new manager by Wednesday. There's
I
probably
doubt
gonna be
it
a
too, yeah.
caretaker guy in charge. So it's probably the best time to play against them. Although I also thought that about Liverpool for Wolves.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, are you feeling going into that Leeds game? We can say now, obviously, that Sabitzer starting.
Yeah, he's in.
He's absolutely starting.
in.
Eriksen's still out, so you're gonna get a Sabitzer,
Fred, Bruno.
McTominay. Oh, Bruno.
No, fuck McTominay. Hey, actually, McTominay might play at Leeds. They might put McTominay
I
in.
guess if you're gonna rotate,
They might
you're
put
gonna
McTominay
rotate.
in.
That playoff game with Barca is coming up.
I would also say let's put Sancho in there, but I know Bruno likes to play like every game.
Yeah, he seems
So-
like he'd moan about it.
He seems like he moans about everything.
But yeah, so you're confident going to that Leeds game. This Crystal Palace game has given you faith.
Yeah, no, look, like I said, like I think it was last week or something, but I said like the next 4 games. It's Palace, then it was Palace twice, and then Leeds.
You got Leeds twice.
Is it Leeds
You
twice?
got Leeds on Wednesday, and then you got Leeds on Sunday.
So it was Palace twice and then Leeds twice?
Palace twice, then Leeds twice. I guess so.
So that's what I'm saying. United should win all 4 of those.
And both Leeds games are Prem games.
Yeah. So I think United will still win all 4 of them. The issue is after that is the Barcelona game.
Well, look, according to this calendar over here, you've got Leeds, then you've got Leeds, then you've got Barcelona.
Yeah. So after the Leeds games,
Yeah.
it's the Barca games. But yeah, United.
That's so weird that you're playing Leeds home and away, back to back, and then Barca.
Same thing with Palace, though. We played them back to back.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But it's the game. It's the football schedule. It's the game.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, look, good win for United.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean,
No issue with the win.
there's been there's a lot of support. for
Sabitzer
this-
played well.
for
Did
this
you see?
title
I saw
charge.
clips of him when he came on. He did well. He tackled. He passed.
He did everything
did
that
everything
you'd
he-
want
exactly.
a football player to
Exactly.
do. The win takes you guys to third. I guess you guys were in third before before kickoff, yeah.
Yeah, were we?
I think so. Yeah. But yeah, you guys are in third with 21 games played. You guys are 8 points behind Arsenal. We have a game in hand on you guys, but yeah, 8 points behind Arsenal. The title charge is alive, bro. Very much alive. Do you
I
see Man United,
guess.
especially with what's happening with Man City and these sanctions now, bro? These
Look,
charges.
I can
sorry.
I can see United. I think United's best is second place right now. I could see the
Yeah.
league ending Arsenal, United, City, or Arsenal, United, Newcastle, or Arsenal, City, United.
It's got to be Arsenal, United, Newcastle, bro. I don't care much for fourth, but I would love to see Newcastle get Champions League.
Yeah, but the City's still there, bro.
I know, dude. After these charges,
There's no way these charges come into effect in this season, bro.
hey, man, look, a guy can dream.
I know a guy
A
can
guy
dream,
can
but
dream.
we got to remember they've been investigating them since 2011 or
Yeah,
some
it's
shit.
been like 5 years.
It's been a long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way the decision comes now.
That's true. That's true. But look, especially after the Everton result, a guy can dream. Arsenal obviously losing 1-0.
Yeah, you watched the game. I watched some of it. You watched it.
Let me just say,
I saw people clowning
Jorginho did
Jorginho.
nothing wrong.
I saw people clowning him.
Jorginho did absolutely nothing wrong. I cannot understand this the slander. I do not get it, bro. I don't know what they expected of a defensive midfielder to do creatively. It's just that it coincided as soon as, like, very soon after he came on, we conceded.
I know.
So I think a lot of Arsenal fans who are kind of on standby to find anything wrong with the signing, you know what I mean? They're putting 2 and 2 together and they just going crazy, which I think is again absolutely over the top.
So, are you happy with Jorginho?
Again, I don't think there's anything to be happy with in the overall team performance. I just don't think that Jorginho performed any worse than anybody else. Like, I'm like, if you're gonna scapegoat anybody, like, you shouldn't be able to scapegoat any one player. Do you know what I mean? We were flat from front to back. Jorginho came on late, and as he came on, we happened to concede the goal. So he kind of had his back against the wall performance that he had to make his debut with, which is unfortunate because I think that if he came on, if it was still 0-0 and it kind of stayed 0-0 and it wasn't 1-0 to Palace so soon after he came on, he probably would have had a better game because mentally he'd at least be able to play his game, be a bit more relaxed about it. But yeah, dude, I think it was unfortunate. I don't think he did anything wrong.
He made a few missed passes. Even I saw that.
No, but again, like I said, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of the overall team, overall the players were mispassing. Martinelli, I don't think he starts against Brentford, bro. I think he needs to have a bit of a break. I think Trossard
So
needs
Trossard,
to start. Trossard came on. He looked better than Martinelli in the cameo that he had, bro. And I genuinely think that Martinelli, understandably so,
Yeah, he needs a break.
he's played week in, week out, and every time he plays, he gives 110%,
Yeah.
bro. I think he needs to start on the bench at Brentford. I think a lot of players are looking like they kind of... Well, you know what? I won't even say that they're looking like they need a break. In that game, we just switched off, bro. Like, the players just did not put nearly enough effort in. And it's ironic because in the build-up, in the preview, I had said, you know, if I'm Arteta, I'm telling the players, okay, look, take it easy, conserve your energy. But I guess they listened to that.
Maybe
which
he said
was
exactly the same thing.
This is why I'm not a manager. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is why?
This is
This is
why.
the only
This
reason?
is the exact
Okay.
reason we finally found it, bro. We
Okay.
finally found it. But yeah, Everton ran us into the ground. Oh, Nana, what a midfielder, bro. What a midfielder.
Dude, that whole Everton squad is good, though. It's a
And look,
good
and
squad.
and I said this. They were a Sean Dyche team just waiting
Yeah.
for Sean Dyche, bro. Holy cow, they look completely transformed in the first game with him. And I saw a lot of talk about people having some chuckles about the training shots where he was running them through the burpee tests and everything. And apparently, I'm guessing it's a Sean Dyche signature thing. But they were saying, yeah, these Everton players are gonna absolutely shit themselves with trying to keep up with Sean Dyche standards. You know what I mean?
Okay. You
And
gotta do me burpee tests.
But look, I think the proof is in the pudding. I know it's only one game, but I cannot take anything away from Everton. They absolutely deserve the win. I think we at the very least deserve the penalty. Neil Maupay, you're a cheat. You're a cheat. You're a fraud. And I hope Brian get relegated. That dude, bro, I'm sorry, that is one of the most unpleasant footballers in football.
Would have been fun if he did lose the game for them because he came on as a sub.
It would have been hilarious. Oh, it would have been... Because he was the one that gave the penalty away, in my humble opinion. I don't know if you saw the incident, but basically, we were in their box, and we were in the middle of an attack, and as, I think it was Odegaard Osaka was running across, Maupay basically bulldozes him over. But, like, I'm talking about takes him out at the legs, like, kicks out and, like, leg tangled up, but nowhere near the ball. He just saw him play. He saw the Arsenal player coming, and he took him down. And no intervention from VAR. I think they did say that there was apparently a foul on an Everton player a few seconds before that, but I'm not buying it. But yeah, dude, that was sus. But yeah, and then later on in the game, he got into a big tussle with Zinchenko. He lashed out in Zinchenko, and then when he walked away, Zinchenko kind of called at him. And then they went face to face. And next thing you know, Maupay is wrapping his arm around Zinchenko and pulling him down to the ground, and then complaining on the floor, holding his head like Zinchenko headbutted him. And then Zinchenko's over him. To us, it's just there were levels. And then that smile on his face, bro, it was just so annoying.
Yeah, but look, he probably was told to fuck with him.
That's his specialty.
Yeah, he's probably just told fuck with him. Get something out of it.
Get under the skin.
Yeah.
We saw it before with Matteo Guendouzi. That's why Guendouzi got outcast from the squad, bro. It's because of his Guendouzi was a douche. I mean, bragging about how much money you earn.
Guendouzi.
But look, what a player. What a player. I wish it could have been different, but yeah. But yeah, man, I think there's a few players that I think I'd probably rest going into Brentford. Odegaard, I'd maybe give a rest as well. Maybe I'd give Vieira. We have to give Vieira a proper chance.
Vieira's not getting anything.
We have to give
has
him
he
a
started
proper
any
chance.
game?
He starts in the Europa League, and he'll start in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. But that's why I'm saying he kind of needs to be given a proper chance. When he plays in those games, he's not playing with the full-strength squad. And same goes with Trossard, I think. I mean, put Trossard in the team with Saka on the other wing and our full-strength midfield, Thomas Partey, them all. All these guys have been making cameos with second-string teams for the most part. But yeah, I think there's a few players that need a break because that game they looked switched off and they need a wake-up call, bro. And those substitutes, I will say, at least showed more desire. I think they at least deserve to start at Brentford. I think Brentford we can afford to rotate a little bit.
So in the next game, you're saying it's Jorginho, Vieira, and
No.
Trossard?
I'm not saying rotate that much. I'm saying Trossard start and Vieira start. I don't think start Jorginho just yet. Vieira has started enough games to kind of have a flow of the style of play already. Jorginho's still kind of new. I still think Thomas Partey, he didn't have his best game against Everton. He needs to make up for that, and I think he's the type of player where the first chance he gets, the better. So I would keep most of the team the same. I would definitely start Tomiyasu at right back. I think Ben White needs to sit bench again.
Bench White.
Bench White, bro. I never thought I'd see the day. But yeah, the last, I think, 3 games, he hasn't looked himself. I think Tomiyasu's come on and looked a hero at right back compared to him. So yeah, those are the changes that I would make for Brentford. Not much more I can say in the Everton game. I think that they just outplayed us. They deserve the win. And
and it is the new manager bounce.
And it's Sean Dyche of all managers, bro. He has Arsenal's number in general. Now he's got a better squad.
But that's a good win. Do you think Everton win the Liverpool game now? Because Everton plays Liverpool next.
I think that Everton. I think that Merseyside derby is going to be Liverpool's biggest game of the season.
Yeah, but I kind of think they
probably
beat Liverpool.
Everton's as well. But I think that this Everton game, this win against Arsenal, buys them some serious time. Whatever happens at the Liverpool game, but this is gonna be it's at Anfield as well.
Is it?
If there's a loss there, bro, I know that there's all this talk about the owners completely backing Jurgen Klopp, but if they have a Merseyside loss at Anfield,
none of this is Klopp's fault.
No, look, I do agree with you, and we're gonna get into the Liverpool game. We're definitely gonna get into the Liverpool game, but I think that's an interesting point that you bring up. I didn't think about the fact that the next game is the Merseyside derby, and when you look at the run of form that players are gonna be taking into that game now, especially,
it's gonna be tough.
Like bro, and I saw a stat today that Liverpool they've lost 3-0, I think 3 times this season. And the teams that they've lost not 3-0, sorry, they've conceded 3 goals against the 3 clubs, and like it's Brighton, Southampton, and like it's not the big boys. So going into this game against Everton, the way things are looking, it's kind of I'm kind of scared to back them after I backed them against Wolves. But yeah, We might as well move on to that game, yeah. Onto the Liverpool game.
Did you watch
3-0.
it?
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. Spencer watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And... Oh,
If only he was here to fucking talk about
he's
it.
livid, bro. Listen, when I was speaking to him today, we got into a bit of a disagreement because we're seeing the same thing, but we're taking different things away from the situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's putting all of this down to just general burnout, mental burnout, okay? I told him I could understand that, but now we are 21 games in. I'm not going to give players benefit of the doubt of saying, oh, mentally they're still exhausted or blah, blah. You are 21 games in. I think that these players are just not good enough, and we are just seeing it now.
No, look, I think it's definitely something because they're playing exactly the same, just worse.
Yeah.
So I think there is something to the motivation argument. I think there is something to the burnout argument because they are playing exactly the same, and they've brought in good players. So maybe these new players don't play this whatever, but they're playing like
They are a better team than they were last season on paper.
I saw stats and shit, and they're literally playing exactly the same way, just with less pressure.
Yeah.
So maybe it is burnout, but I also think I said this last week. Players are having Henderson bad season, Fabinho bad season, Van Dijk
and
bad
I'm
season.
sorry, 21 games in, I'm not going to be all, oh, it's just because they exhausted, they didn't get a break. 21 games in,
No,
bro.
it's not just that, but I
think there are many factors to it. Because another thing that I'd said to Spencer was, because he was basically speaking about how the club haven't had any footballing break, even when there was the World Cup, because there was general football going on still, you know. So mentally, you're not exactly detached from it all.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I understood that to a degree. I just think that 21 games in, it's not so much down to mental block. I think it is, like you were saying, they're doing the same thing. I told Spencer, I think that clubs have absolutely figured Liverpool out.
I think so too.
I think
But
they've
again,
absolutely
if
figured
there's
Liverpool
enough effort and gusto in, it makes up for figuring them out.
Exactly. And on that point, another thing, again, I'm paraphrasing through Sponz here. Next time he's on the show, he can give yays or nays to how well I translated. But he was saying that last season they were playing for the quadruple. And obviously they took on the Carabao Cup, FA Cup. In his opinion, if they won either the Premier League or the Champions League, that makes this season not go this way just out of pure motivation. Okay? That's what he reckons.
Okay.
But I told him, in my opinion, this drop-off is because the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup were literally the only two trophies that team had yet to win. They finally won absolutely everything that there is.
I don't think
Hold
it's
on.
that.
Look,
I don't think
they
it's
finally
that.
won everything that there absolutely is. They won the Club World Championship. They won the Super Cup. They won Community Shield. They won everything. What happened as soon as the season ended last season? Sadio Mane said he wants to leave because he wants a new challenge.
It's because they didn't win that Singapore trophy that you know.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's true. Sadio Mane said he wants a new challenge. We've seen this with football players before. Once they win everything there is to win, there's a general sense of where's the motivation to keep pushing. What else is there to push towards? Sadio Mane, I think he saw the warning signs and he jumped ship. The rest of this Liverpool squad, I don't think they have that fire under their arse because they know full well we have won everything that there is to win with this club that's possible.
I get that, but also in the same fucking breath, after winning everything, you're not going to want to lose everything.
No, exactly, and I agree, and that's why I said I think that these players are just not good enough anymore, and we are starting to see that. I think that this is absolute drop-off. We saw it after Chelsea won the league. The following season, they were in the relegation scrap practically for a lot of that season. We saw it before. We have seen teams. We saw Fergie come out of retirement, win a freaking Premier League. When he retired, what happened to that same team? One season later, they went from champions to absolute bottle jobs,
bro. The thing
bro.
is, that team's always been kind of average, though. Ferguson was just good enough to make them win.
Look, if you want to excuse them on that, then that's one instance of many. But what I'm saying is, I don't think it's that far-fetched to believe that this Liverpool squad, this aging Liverpool squad, have just fallen off.
They're not aging that. It's just fucking...
I know it's 1
just
year.
Henderson. It's just Henderson.
It's literally been 1 year. But what I'm saying is, look at the performances of Salah, look at the performances of Van Dijk.
Yes.
Like you said now, Henderson.
Yes.
And I'll give it to them. They've had some injuries.
Yes.
Diaz has been injured. They've had injuries with Jota, Firmino. But look at Matip.
Yeah.
Look at what's his name?
Let's be honest, Matip was never as important as Van Dijk.
I guess.
It seems like the fucking guys who were major players for them
have all fallen off.
Yeah, and I don't think that's an age thing. I just think that's a like maybe I'm agreeing with Sponz. I think that's just a burnout thing.
I can't agree with that. I think 21 games in, you cannot have the excuse of burnout.
Or even if it's not burnout, it's just a bad season. People have bad seasons.
And that's what I'm saying. I understand people have bad seasons, but are you telling me that next season, 32-year-old Mo Salah steps up from this season, and 33-year-old Virgil van Dijk steps up from this season? Are you telling me that next season, when these players are another year older, not only another year older, but have they have stresses that they haven't had to deal with for 7-8 years? These stresses are back. No? Do you see them getting better? I told Spencer, I think that this team needs an overhaul, bro. I think next season you need to change at least 4 or 5 of the starting 11.
I think the mid and the defense needs an overhaul. I think the whole front, whether you're subbing in Firmino...
No, their front is fine. Their front is young enough as well.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think their whole front, no matter who you're subbing in, I think that front is good. Fair enough, I'll give the mid. I don't think... You should
play Oxlade-Chamberlain, brother.
I don't think any top 4 team is going to play Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think Henderson probably should go, or at least become less important in the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fabinho
is a shadow of himself.
Yeah, I know, dude.
He's an absolute
maybe
shell.
you just replace him. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know when last we've had a season of football where his name isn't in the mix for anything.
I know, dude. He's having a terrible season. But that's the thing. These guys are literally just having bad seasons. We saw Ronaldo do this at United. He had a bad season.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. With the Ronaldo thing, I can still understand because I put a lot of that down to minutes. But with this Liverpool team, I sympathize with having a bad season. Until it got to 21 games in. You are not having a bad season. You are now shit.
No, a bad season ends when the season ends, dude.
A bad season ends when the season ends, but, dude, if you're not gonna, show me something, bro. This Liverpool team are showing nothing. I think that this Liverpool team, they got complacent and it's caught up with them. I think the rest of the league has caught up with them. I even told Sponz was talking about how for the future, he's not thinking about the season, he's thinking about the future.
Yeah.
Even with the future, I think that the other clubs have gotten a head start on them because, yes, he may talk up all these young players, right, that Liverpool have. Man United have young players, Arsenal have young players. Chelsea bought every young player there is known to man. The difference between our youngsters and Liverpool's youngsters is that our youngsters aren't going to have to develop in a potentially toxic and super stressful environment. Like, this may really come to hurt the development of those youngsters at Liverpool.
It could help them, though. They could become fucking stars.
Again, it definitely make or breaks certain players.
Yeah.
And Jurgen Klopp being there is a big help, and they're still backing him. I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon.
I don't see him going anywhere.
But I'm just saying, it's hard to... You're already playing catch-up. But when your rivals are doing what you are striving to do, which I'm going to say it better than they are doing it. It's going to be a while before Liverpool, if this season ends the way it's been going currently. And look, let's not, again, there are 17 games left of the season?
Yeah, it's like halfway.
Bro, there's not much time to turn things around. There's not much time to turn things around. This Wolves game was catastrophic. It couldn't have gone worse. And even Jurgen Klopp himself had no excuses.
Yeah, I know. But again, though, we did also see fucking United lose 4-0 to Brentford at the start of the season.
At the start of the season, not 21 games in.
But I'm just saying, it was exactly the same team that played.
We didn't see United lose like that very soon after losing 3-0 to Brighton?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I can't say they're done. I can't say it's washed up people. I can't. There's physically no way. You don't get washed up in one season. Well. I refuse to.
I think you do because stranger things have happened. And my main case in point to Spencer in particular was Fernando Torres. One season from Liverpool to Chelsea in his prime. Yes. He didn't go there as an oldie.
But it's not like it was one season good at Liverpool and then the next season...
Look at Chelsea's track record. Okay, and now you see the thing is because we're talking about whole teams here. We don't see whole teams drop off like this. That is very bizarre. But again, I will use that Chelsea Premier League winning side as an example. They went from winning the Premier League. The following season, they were nowhere near it.
Yeah, it is hard to argue with that.
And again, I also believe that this Liverpool team are good enough. And they should believe that they are good enough. That's why I told Spencer going into the Wolves game, they should tap into that. They shouldn't tap into, oh no, it's just a bad run of form. No, fuck that. You know you're good enough. You know you're better than this team. Go out there and win. But it looked like Wolves played with that mentality completely. Wolves are fighting survival in the Premier League. Wolves are fighting absolute survival. They ran all over Liverpool.
Yeah, again, the motivation.
Yeah, the motivation. Liverpool, you telling me that the Liverpool needed more motivation than we are 10th?
Yeah.
Liverpool needed more. Liverpool, who were pushing for a quadruple, needed more motivation than Wolves. Liverpool should be more motivated than anybody in the freaking league right now. You went from challenging for a quadruple trophy haul to 10th.
But it's tough doing that, dude. I think pushing like that
You can say it's tough. Listen, Manchester United did a European treble once upon a time. It may not have been a quadruple. Are you telling me that the quadruple is so much harder that they can fall off like this when other clubs that have pushed for this many, or at least 3 finals, 3 trophies in a season, never have this kind of fall off? Liverpool aren't the first team to, like most clubs, not most clubs, but some clubs will go a lot of the season.
But it's tough because Liverpool's rise kind of came at the same time as Man City's dominance. So we can talk about United doing a treble. There was no Man City back then.
I agree.
I agree. There was no fucking team that could literally get whoever they wanted.
I'm more meaning the fact that Man United, part of that European treble meant a Champions League. Manchester City they're not competing in the Champions League with Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing that. So I'm saying I don't count Man City in that aspect. I'm talking about competitively. I'm talking about the Champions League itself.
I'm just saying Liverpool would have won it if not for Man City.
I guess.
And now with the sanctions and shit we're listening to, it seems more and more like they probably should have won it.
I guess. We'll see. That's going to be super interesting to see how it develops, bro. That's going to be super interesting.
But look, I can't run Liverpool off. It's too soon.
You can't write them off.
I can't.
I'm not going to lie. I'm leaning very much towards it. I do think that Klopp still absolutely deserves time to rebuild the squad, but the squad needs a rebuild.
Yes, of the defense and the midfield.
No,
yes.
it needs okay, yeah, the attack, leave it.
Dude, imagine Nunes
from
scored,
middle to back, bro.
Imagine Nunes scored all these goals that he missed. Liverpool would be fucking.
They'd be fine. They'd be
killing it.
They'd be coasting.
And that's what makes me think it's just bad luck.
But then again, Liverpool. Well, but Lukaku never got that that benefit of the doubt.
I know what you mean, but also, Nunes. Right now,
you like Nunes more.
No, but he's a lot more. He puts in way more effort than Lukaku did a couple years ago.
I suppose so. I just think that there are players who got crucified for less.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
But I also think these same players who got crucified didn't do as fucking much
off the ball.
Exactly.
Okay. Fair enough. I guess. Look, I'm not one to talk. Jesus is not finding the back of the net when he plays, but his off the ball work is impeccable.
Mm.
But yeah, man, Liverpool, that loss is it keeps them in 10th, squarely in 10th. They now have a game in hand on Chelsea, though. If they do win it, they can leapfrog Chelsea. But yeah, that next game is obviously the Merseyside derby. So that, I think at this point, as anyone goes, I'm not going to predict that, bro.
I'm going to predict. I'm saying Everton take that.
Everton take it?
Yeah, this is a new Everton. And
I'm going to say draw.
The same old Liverpool.
I think a draw. I think Sean Dyche is going to go there to play for a draw. And I think he's going to get it.
But I mean, if he could beat an Arsenal team that's playing much better than Liverpool.
He beat Arsenal at Goodison Park, though. He's going to Anfield now. I think you go there smart, brother. Is as bad as Liverpool's form is right now. It's still Anfield.
Yeah, it is still Anfield, I guess.
Still Anfield. But yeah, look, aside from our games, obviously, the big one was Man City versus Spurs.
I actually did watch some of that, and then I fell asleep.
Harry Kane doing what Harry Kane does, brother.
Yeah. Shout out to Harry Kane, future United striker.
Damn, yo, that was. I don't want to give Spurs any credit. It's just not in me. I will just say it was so satisfying to see Manchester City continue to look so very fragile, bro.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, but again,
this whole season.
I think like you said with the Liverpool thing, I think it's more applicable to the City thing. I think people have figured out how to deal with City. Yes. Isolate Ireland and City's nothing.
Yeah, and City always had the safety net of buying a whole new team, and then you have to kind of rethink things again.
And also, it was a bit odd that they didn't start Gundogan or De Bruyne. That's fucking weird. Those are arguably your two best midfielders, and you didn't start either of them.
Yeah, that's true. And in that game,
I know in that game you can't.
That's why I said in the last episode, it low-key feels like Pep's throwing his boy a bone here. You let go of Cancelo out of the blue, no replacement. You fielding weird lineups. Like, I'm not going to lie, I don't want to take anything. I think Arsenal fully deserve, but it weirdly feels like Pep is just not trying that hard this season. I think he's focusing everything on the Champions League. I think once he gets the Champions League, he jumps ship.
And that's what he said. He said he is focusing everything on the Champions League, but I can't believe that.
Yeah, look, Spurs absolutely did Arsenal a favor here. They did us a mega favor. We dropped points, I panicked, and then seeing City drop points, I was just like,
Dude,
that
this
is, we
the
literally got to
perfect
get a jail
situation
free
for
card.
Arsenal fans. Yeah, it's
We
crazy.
literally got to get a
It's
jail free
crazy.
card, bro.
But I think did you see with that goal he becomes like Tottenham's highest goal scorer ever. He also becomes like the third highest goal scorer in the Premier League behind
he's gonna retire a
behind
legend.
Shearer and Rooney.
He's going to retire a legend. It's unfortunate to say, but I still do take credit for the Arsenal Academy for him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Look, the rest of the results, I don't think there was anything sensational to talk about, like we said before. But yeah, I think we can wrap things up there. A bit of a shorter one, bit of a quieter one, just Ethan and myself. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for following, subscribing. Give us a rating if you like the show.
And also, I have to say, this is the podcast that never sleeps.
Never sleeps. Never ever sleeps. Thank you guys for listening. We will catch you in the next one.